off. Welcome to the 46th episode of the Brave News channel. I am your host, Shali, and we're here with the incredible Rizky. Say hello, Rizky.
Hello.
All right, and today we have... I'm sorry, what was that?
I know, fun times.
I know, fun times, because today we have a really exciting episode because the fun never stops with Brave Frontier, especially in this new chapter where the heroes have awakened and we have even more heroes than before to enjoy and to help us along our journey as a summoner, because a summoner's adventure is never over, right? And this time around, we have an incredible, amazing, unbelievable collaboration going on, and that is with the very popular anime and manga series, Tokyo Ghoul.
Wow.
Can you believe that? That's freaking
I can't
amazing.
believe this.
It's so amazing. I mean, Brave Frontier has had a series of very memorable collaborations, you know, from Fairy Tail to My Hero Academia, King of Fighters, you name it. But Tokyo Ghoul, it's a very recent title, very relevant anime, I feel like, and so it's very exciting to see it come to the world of Brave Frontier and Grand Gaia. However, I am not an expert in Tokyo Ghoul. I know actually very little about the anime and manga series. I have watched a little bit because I was curious thanks to Brave Frontier. So I'm gonna watch the rest of the anime now. But we do have an expert. We have an expert among us of the Tokyo Ghoul series.
Well, not really an expert, but I watch all the season, and I'm really excited when my team managed to secure this collaboration. I think kudos to our IP team and our headquarters teams as well to help us to get this collaboration.
Exactly. Thank you so much for making this possible or making it happen, because I feel like not everybody understands how hard it is to secure a collaboration of this magnitude and all of the work that has to go behind the scenes to be able to do it. People think that, you know, the owner of the IP just sits down and then you're like, hey, let's do it. And the IP owner's just like, yeah, okay. That's not how it works. There's a lot of steps in between that happen that must take place, and a lot of approvals and a lot of, you know, like red tape to go through. So the fact that this is happening for Brave Frontier is very exciting. I cannot wait to see it. So let's start taking a look at what we can expect here, Rizky.
All right, so talking about Tokyo Ghoul, what is Tokyo Ghoul without the main character itself? We have Kaneki here, Ken Kaneki and Toka Kirishima as well. And we have another three characters coming. We have Juzo, Suzuya, Shu Tsukiyama, and of course the infamous, I think the infamous villain Yamori, or known as Jason, if you guys know. Jason. I don't know if I should spoil this too much, but I think there might be some of our players that have not watched Tokyo Ghoul yet, but I'll just say that there is a very interesting fight scene between Yamori and or Jason and Kaneki, which we will go on a bit later on when we are introducing the special dungeon as well. Okay. So let's take a look at the actual Brave Frontier version of the character.
Cannot
on
wait.
The next slide. So we have the first summon batch. We have Toka, Kirishima, and Tsukiyama.
Yes.
This is their 7-star, and we have their summon, their Omni version as well. The next slide.
In the next slide.
Yeah. So here you can see that their Kagune is kind of like showing up here as compared to the 7-star version. Yeah. So what do you think about the character, Shali?
Well, I mean, they look very different from their usual selves, but this is their ghoul selves, right? This is what their ghoul powers are about. And my understanding is that each character in Tokyo Ghoul kind of has a different type of ghoul like ability. What is it called? Kagune? Kagune. Yeah. And so, you know, some of the Kagune come out of like the back, like wings, like Toka. Some of them are, you know, attached to like appendages, like arms. Kaneki's Kagune is very different, comes out from like his lower back. It looks like tentacles and stuff like that. So it's always very interesting to see how these like powers manifest for each particular character. And it looks already really awesome on paper. It looks exactly just like what I saw in the anime. But I would love to see like the animations, how it's going to look when they are moving on the screen. I'm really looking forward to that.
Right. I mean, I think the our art team has taken extra effort to try to make the animation as close as possible. The animation of the unit itself as close as possible with the original anime. So yeah, should look forward for it.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And then we do have the main characters, of course, everyone's favorite, which is Kaneki. Yeah, Kaneki. So it's very interesting here that we are currently basically our collaboration covers from the first and the second story. The first and the second season. So here we have Kaneki and Juzo on as a summon badge part 2, and you can see that his 7-star version is the one from season 1, if I remember correctly. And then as you can see on the next slide, you can see that his summon Omni version is at somewhere really at the end of the season 1. Which where he is about to fight Yamori.
No spoilers, man. What are you doing, Risky? Don't spoil it, man. You gotta put a warning on it before you spoil it. This is kind of later Kaneki, okay? After Kaneki kind of finds himself. Let's just say that. Let's keep it at that. That's all we'll say.
Okay, I won't tell about the detail of what happened between them, but as you can see, there is a big jump between his 7-star and his Omni.
Of course, yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and Juzo, well, you can see that he's not as friendly as he initially looks, because Juzo has a very kind of like gentle outer appearance, but once you see him in action, you kind of get a different view into like his true personality that lies underneath all of that, and that sickle that he's like waving around. It's a good way to show what his true personality is like. So
yeah, one interesting thing about Juzo is that he is the only one that is not ghoul out of this lineup. He's just human, but a very, I would say, unique.
Yeah, unique is a good word. He's a very special human. Yeah.
If you guys want to know what happened with him actually in the past, I think you should really watch the season, and it's very interesting to find out his background.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, everybody should be watching the anime, especially if you, you're seeing the collaboration of Brave Frontier, like myself. When I knew that the collaboration was coming and I had to do research for all of these characters, I watched a lot of the episodes. I haven't watched all of them, but I was very intrigued by the story, and I'm missing a lot of pieces because I've seen the episodes like out of order, so I'm not exactly sure what leads to where exactly. So yeah, I'm just really curious. I feel like everybody who loves Brave Frontier and can appreciate that this collaboration is happening should check it out. And if you don't have time to check it out and you happen to get one of these units, you can also just check out their lore. A lot of work was put into each unit's lore to be as accurate as possible to their actual source material. So please do look at that, and maybe if you read that, you might just be curious enough to find out the entire story, the whole story.
And it kind of worked like when we have the My Hero Academia collaboration.
Exactly.
I think Shelly, you are the fan, big fan of
Yes,
My Hero
it's
Academia,
kind of
right?
backwards. Yeah, I was already a My Hero fan, and so when we found out that we were doing a collaboration with My Hero, I just lost my mind. I was like, So this time around, I'm coming a little bit, I had heard of Tokyo Ghoul, and I knew that it was really, really popular and that many, many people liked it, but I had never gotten the chance to actually just sit down and watch it, so I didn't know what it was about at all. And when I was researching the characters and I was reading the story, I was just like, oh my God, this is insane. What? How is this possible? And if I were a ghoul, would I be able to survive, a lifestyle like that? I don't know if I could, but that is what the story is about, isn't it? Is Kaneki struggling to find a way to reconcile with having to live as a ghoul, and it's that journey. Do I accept it and live, or do I deny it and die, kind of thing? So it's very interesting to see that internal conflict, and that's what drew me into it. And I'm definitely looking forward to finishing all of the other episodes. It should be good. It should be good.
You should. And and last but not least is the kind of like the main villain for this particular collaboration. It's Yamori.
Yes.
Jason. So as of why he's turning like this, completely different from the original one. I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it looks like he has some kind of like powers, enhanced powers. But why he looks like that? Yeah. Where does it happen and how does this come about is the interesting part. So you guys should definitely watch the anime or read the manga to find out.
Right, and he will be available a little bit different compared to our previous collaboration. He will be available as a login campaign reward unit. So make sure that you log in, and then like if you have a friend that is a fan of Tokyo Ghoul, bring your parent in, and just by logging in, you can get this character as well.
Awesome. So I'll be getting a Yamori as well then, because I'm gonna log in every day.
Right, and moving on, we do have 2 Vortex dungeons based on the actual scenes in Tokyo Ghoul. The first one will be Night with the Gourmet, and the other one is the Sadistic Torture. So if you guys watch the movie, this is actually part of these episodes in the anime. So if anyone remember about it, the scene, we try to replicate the scene exactly as what it looks like in the anime. So it's going to be very interesting as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
So, and the next slide, we have a very special surprise for this collaboration as well, as we are going to release the first global collaboration dual Braveverse pair, which is of course.
So exciting!
Who else?
Oh my God, Kaneki and Toka, huh?
Yeah, Kaneki and Toka, of course.
Yeah.
How their Braveverse is going to be, that's going to be very interesting to find out.
Well, I guess you'll have to get them both in order to be able to see it, but
yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to the animation for this one. It's going to be something else.
All right, and that's about it for the collaboration. So it's a little bit early this time around. It's even though it's for July, but we are announcing it like the actual event itself will start on June 26th until July 24 PST. So do stick around and watch. Look forward to our official announcement in Facebook and our official channels as well.
That's right, but it's coming your way, and hopefully a lot of you guys are very, very excited. I'm always very excited when we get an anime collaboration because, that's kind of like my background. That's what got me hooked into Japanese culture and all these things. As like otaku kids, we just cling to anything that looks cool, and we're like, no, I love anime.
Another one here.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can all relate over this, even if we're not particularly attached to Tokyo Ghoul. I'm sure that a lot of people will appreciate that we have such an amazing anime collaboration happening for Brave Frontier. So very much looking forward to that, and also looking forward to finishing watching the anime, and also maybe perhaps reading the manga at some point in time. But we are moving on to things that are not necessarily collaboration.
Well, we always have something, to give to the player, so.
Right, but exciting nonetheless. We have a brand new raid summon unit, and his name is Tarok. Now, Tarok looks like, I don't even know how, like a gladiator, I guess is the best way that I can put it. He's kind of like a wild gladiator, but his actual job was to kind of be a hunter. When he's part of a very secretive race that not many people are aware exists. And when he was born, he was actually branded kind of as a cursed child. Like, this kid is going to bring a lot of trouble. But even though he's going to bring a lot of trouble, he was supposedly blessed with the soul of a warrior. And because of that, he has to devote himself to the hunt. And what is the hunt? Is kind of like hunting anything in their path and offering it to their gods or their deities in order to show reverence and respect. However, Tarok eventually kind of comes to the conclusion that I don't know that I have a soul of a hero, not a hero, but a mighty warrior in me at all. He had also been prophesied that he was going to be taken down by another person with a really powerful warrior spirit, but that person never came along. And he started to question everything that he grew up with. Like, was I really ever like cursed? Was I ever really like, did I ever have the soul of the warrior? Is that person out there who is destined to kill me even really out there? And that changed his whole worldview, and he started to wonder about kind of without a sense of purpose. And when he was wondering about, that's when he ran into the seventh circle fiends. So that makes him the fifth one. We already have Katrin, we have Zorag, we have Hakuzo, and we have Vrana. So he is the fifth one. We have two more to go through, and I don't know who they are just yet. But, the plot thickens, a lot of different backgrounds for everyone.
Interesting.
But definitely all of them seem to be cursed in some type of way. Like, they haven't had the best, like, childhood, or, it's not the usual tale of the mighty hero rising to, like, save the world. It's more of like, man, somebody screwed me over, and now I have to, like, move on with my life somehow. So, it's admirable in a way. It's admirable in a way. But I think his design is very, very unique and not very much like anything that we've seen before in Brave Frontier. What do you think, Rizky?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, usually we do have like waifus and husbando style, but I think he's more like he's more like a, like a very, I don't know, I would say Western style kind of like characters. And he gives me a vibe of like Mordicai.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was thinking that. Like, I keep
Mordicai,
looking at him,
yes.
I was like, if he wasn't that green, he could be like Corzan's brother or something.
Yeah, it looks like. But I do really love of the attention of details on the character design as well, like the armors and all the ornaments that he's using. It's really awesome.
He has so many weapons. He has a spear, he has like claws, and then he has a chain as well. So he's just equipped for any kind of occasion, really.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's a chin there.
He's not here to play around. So very, very interesting character. You guys look forward to him. And moving on, we also have more Frontier Rift coming for you guys. And finally, the Frontier Rift Guild is rerunning Forgotten Magic for Elena. I cannot tell you how many people have been bugging me about this.
Yes.
Charlie, when is Elena Rift coming again? Tell Rizky to rerun Elena Rift. I've heard it like a million times, so I'm glad that it's finally happening. People can get what they want. And of course, in this Rift, you will traverse the Forgotten Tower to defeat Elena. And you have to prepare your squads against fire and thunder enemies, so make sure that you are well prepared before you go in there. Of course, make sure that you contribute to your guild if you are in one in order, by participating, so that you guys can stack up points together and get better rewards. You can work with your guild, of course, to get Rift mementos and redeem milestone rewards such as, Elena the unit herself in Omni form, Elena's Time Sphere, which is her ES Sphere, Amber Butterflies, Omni materials, Rift tokens. And you can also exchange your Rift mementos for Rift tokens as well, if that's what you need instead of the mementos. So there you have it. Elena is back by popular demand. The rerun is coming. I hope you're happy.
I think it's really a good chance because like Elena is one of the DBB pair as well. So a lot of players are like, they wanted Elena previously, and then once we announced it as a DBB pair, and then the demand become really high.
Right.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, so maybe whereas before you thought, maybe I can survive without Elena, maybe not. You really, really want her because of her DBB quality. So now is your chance to go get her and to contribute to your guild, so you can help everybody get amazing rewards.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on, we're having our Vortex Arena Season 4 Nautical Showdown. The rewards are going to be exclusive spheres, of course, from rank 1 to 1,500. We're going to get their Eureka mixture, which is going to be one of the spheres that you can see on the slide, the little flask with the little mouse print on it. I don't know which one, though. So I'm guessing the one with the smoke. Don't quote me on that. But from rank 1,501 to 6,000, you're going to get the Rat's Curiosity, which would be the other sphere that you guys see on the screen. We're having the Event Bazaar Oath of Devotion, which is a previous season's higher tier Elgif that was available. But now it's going to be in the Bazaar. And we also have Oath of Justice for the previous Fire Vortex Arena, I guess, available in the Bazaar. Is that right, Risky?
I think we might need to confirm this. This was in our note, but I believe usually we only make available the reward from the previous element. I mean, the same element from the previous season.
Okay. All right, because the spheres are all there for all of the elements, so you can redeem those at any time. So I mean, I guess it would be strange if only the GIF of the previous element was there. But if we have it set up that way, then it must be for a reason. But the Oath of Devotion for the previous water Vortex arena will definitely be there.
Yep.
For sure.
Right.
The fire one, not so sure, but the water one for sure. So hopefully they're both in there. That way you can redeem whichever one you like because they're both great. All right, and then to go with our new Vortex Arena Season 4, we have a brand new water unit based on, you know, the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac. And this time it is the rat, and her name is Charlie. Look at how cute she is. I feel like Charlie's going to have people just drooling all over her. This is the kind of unit that when you see in like the design process, you're just like, yeah, people are gonna love her. Like you just immediately get that feeling, you know?
Right, like usually it's like an Nekomimi or they call it the cat's ear, but this is I think the mouse ear is cute as well.
Of course, mouse ears are the best. I love mouse ears. They're amazingly cute, and she's an albino mouse, so you can tell, you know, she has the white hair and the really red eyes. So it's absolutely adorable. Charlie is actually, you know, the rat in the Chinese zodiac, as we said earlier, and she loves to learn and, you know, find new things and invent new things. She actually did have a mentor when she came down to the human world, and her mentor's name was actually Charlie. So when he passed away, she kind of inherited his name, and she began to continue working on his own inventions and hypotheses, and then coming up with some of her own as well. She kind of thought that maybe her master, well, not her master, but like her teacher's goal was to create the perfect invention. So that's what she was trying to go after as well. But after a time, she started to realize that it was more of like the process of, you know, trying to come up with something new and exciting. Even though rumor has it that the stuff that Charlie comes up with is very dangerous most of the time. Even if she doesn't mean for it to be. She, an explosive gal, if you would. I guess is a good nickname for Charlie. But I hope you guys look forward to her. She's absolutely adorable. I really can't wait to see her in action. Very curious to see how her attack animation looks like with all those things in her backpack there.
Yes.
She has way too much stuff in there. It's
Must be very interesting.
All right. Well, that's it for the Vortex Arena Summon. Rizky, what else can we expect?
Well, it's for July, and when we talk about July, it's usually summertime for everyone. So we do have a Brave Summer 2019, kind of like currently it's temporary name for us, a Brave Summer 2019. It's a teaser at the moment because we don't have a final logo yet. So we will, as usual, as you guys know, we always come out with a new logo for every each of the seasonal event or seasonal celebration. So for Summer 2019, we don't have the logo yet, but there will be a lot of quite a number of like interesting content coming for the summer celebration as well. So more details on like dungeons, login campaign, giveaways. You can take a look at. You can look forward for our official announcement in Facebook or other official channels like Twitter's, Instagram. But maybe I can pass around to Shali for some of our upcoming unit as well for the summer.
Yes, we have some very exciting ones. I'm actually really looking forward to these being released because when they were first conceived, I thought that they were like absolutely magical. You know, it was like with Charlie, one of those moments where you see a unit and you're just like, oh my God, who thought of this? This is amazing. So we're going to start off with Sennie. And the first unit that we have is Sennie, which I really, really like her name because it sounds like it's sunny outside and it's summertime. So there's a lot of, you know, sunshine and UV rays. Make sure that you're using like sunscreen, guys, so that you protect yourself from the UV rays. But Sennie is a really curious unit because her weapon is a bubble wand. She attacks people with bubbles. Is that not like magical to you? Because it's magical to me. And not only that, but Sennie has a very, very cute summer design, and her best pal is an inflatable dolphin named Dolphy. So the dolphin that she's riding in her Omni form, it's an inflatable dolphin. It's not a real dolphin.
It's not a real dolphin?
It's not a real dolphin. It's one of those like balloons that you bring to the beach to have fun, because they float on the water. But he does have feelings. He does have feelings, and he's kind of like, it's a weird kind of like toy come to life type of situation, I guess, if you ask Sennie. But Sennie was basically raised at sea, and she, very fond of the water. But recently she's become a little bit more curious as to what lies beyond the coast, because she is actually from Ymir. And in Ymir, we all know that there has been a little bit of a constant struggle and kind of war going on. So it was very hard for the inhabitants of Ymir to kind of go about and explore things freely when such dangers are out there just waiting for you.
Right.
Yeah, but things have calmed down a little bit. And so now Sennie's feeling a little adventurous, and she's trying to see what else lies beyond the coast there. But I think she is such a fun unit. What do you think, Risky?
Oh, I mean, that dolphin just make me sold. Like it feels like, it feels like a real dolphin. But when I read the description again, it's like, oh yeah, it's an inflatable dolphin. But I think her design is kind of like very unique. There's this hat to whatever protect her face.
Yeah, her visor, her sun visor,
like a visor. Yeah. And that weapon is absolutely interesting to see the animation. I
can't say that I've ever played a game where somebody's fighting monsters or anything with a bubble wand. This has to be the very first game that I've ever seen. But this is what I mean, like the creativity where I saw it, I was just like, that is brilliant. Why hasn't anybody thought of this before? Well, Brave Frontier did it first, so there we go.
It's kind of like a magical bubble that can kill the enemy or whatever.
I guess so. Or maybe just like trap them or something. Like, because I guess, the bubbles might be sticky. I'm not entirely sure, but they're rainbowy, and she looks beautiful in her like summer getup, and she's happily riding Dolphy on the sea there. I think she looks really, really good. Now, one thing that we have to mention about Sennie is that she has a very special friend called Chryssa.
Oh.
And if we go to the next slide, this is the jellyfish princess, Chryssa. Now, she's not an actual princess, actually. She's not real royalty, even though she does live in like a palace made out of shells. It's more of kind of like a vanity name, like, oh, I'm Princess Charlie or something. She's Princess Chryssa, I guess. But the one thing that does make her kind of like untouchable, as a true royal would be, is her gigantic jellyfish of a guardian. Like,
yes,
that thing around her. I mean, number one is majestic. Number two, it is absolutely deadly. Please, if you see a jellyfish at the beach, do not touch it. You will get so hurt. Do not touch it. I know they look pretty, but they're not to play with, and that is exactly what Chryssa's jellyfish guardian is there to do, to protect her from any harm. And funnily enough, the way that Sennie and Chryssa actually met each other was because Sennie was at sea and she was playing in the water, and she unfortunately got tangled in Chryssa's jellyfish. And but she was okay. She didn't get badly hurt or anything, but that caused Chryssa and Sennie to meet each other, and they became friends. And once the coast was a little bit clearer in Ymir, Sennie tried to convince Chryssa to go explore beyond the sea, to go see what else lies out there, because Chryssa is also a very curious girl, so she wants to know what it is that is out there. But the problem here is that it's very difficult for a jellyfish to go out of the sea and be okay. So how are they going to get around that? I'm not sure, but apparently Sennie has a few ideas to help Chryssa out with this expedition. So look forward to that, because I am definitely looking forward to how this is going to be accomplished.
This become interesting. I mean, like, I really want to know like how Sennie will be able to like, Chryssa will be able to like, go out of the water, but...
Well, my best guess is, Sennie has her bubbles, right? So maybe she keeps Chryssa and the jellyfish in a bubble or something, Or like bubble helmets or something like that. I don't know.
You can give us some kind of like, comments. Well, of course, before the actual content is released, you give some kind of like, a theory or whatever, like how can Sennie help Chryssa to go out of water with such a huge jellyfish behind her.
Leave your hypotheses in the comments.
Yes.
How do you think that Sennie is going to help Chryssa go out into mainland and, explore when, obviously Chryssa and her friend are probably much better at sea at all times.
Yes.
Just take a guess and see who can actually guess that one. But very, very exciting units for the summer. I really, really love both of their designs. I think they look absolutely beautiful. Chryssa is especially glamorous and beautiful. So I was really, she's breathtaking, as the kids like to meme these days. She's breathtaking. Really, really love her design.
Whoever come up with that jellyfish idea is really...
Yes. Amazing job to the art team once
Yes.
again, nailing these unit designs. You guys are absolutely killing it. And speaking of more art and of the art team, we have Summer Festival alternate art coming up. Now the silhouettes are on the screen. I shall not name them or say who they are, but I think these are not that hard to guess if you just really sit down to think about it. We have a very graceful person over here with a very nice high heel and a couple of dangerous looking things coming out of it. And then we have what seems to be kind of like a very vain person on the other side, kind of offsetting the balance here. So take your best guesses. Who is it going to be this time around? Leave a comment below and see if you are right the next time when you actually find out who they are. Are you excited for these, Risky?
Right. I'm pretty excited because I think, these two characters are like kind of popular for the players. So, and as usual, I think right now we don't really announce yet how to get this summer festival alternate art. But as our previous seasonal, it's not going to be that difficult to get. As long as you participate in the summer celebration events as well. So look forward for the official announcement as well.
All right, sounds good. I am excited to see them in action. I'm sure that the alternate art is going to be fantastic because it always is. I mean, I claimed, Civil War from the very, very beginning of when we started doing like hardcore alternate art. So now it's just Civil War against everything. But very excited for these, and that does it for our updates. But stick around because the Summoner's Corner is up next. All right, it's time for the Summoner's Corner where you guys ask all the questions and Risky has all of the answers. And today we have 3 questions to get through today. Number 1 here being the first one by King LancePie. And this is kind of a double-parter, so bear with me here. The first one is, has anybody considered the return of the Sybil sisters for Season 2 of Brave Frontier? Do we want to answer that one first and then go to the second one, or should we mention the second question right now as well, Risky?
Yeah, you can mention the second question as well.
Okay, so and the second question is, how come there are no more Brave Frontier updates on Twitch, the streaming service?
Okay, so good questions. The first questions was about Sybil sisters. When he's referring to the new seasons, I believe this is about the VA seasons, not so much of the story season. So if you guys noticed that the VA is a global exclusive content, and usually what we when there is an old characters that we try to repurpose or redefine in the VA, they are mostly from the global exclusive characters. So we don't have a plan to use Sybil sisters for the upcoming VA season. At least we do have the Chinese Zodiac on as a lineup, and we will cover basically the whole 12 Vortex arena, which is like 2 seasons. So no plan for this at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and the second one, I think Twitch recording at that time was experimental. So we do have our team, our community management team helping on that. But because of the logistic issue, timing, preparation and everything, we have to decided to stop it. And I think around the same time, we did BNC as well because of the request from Takahashi-san and the support from the Japanese version as well. So, if I think a number of users are asking why don't we have Twitch anymore, because we have basically moved to BNC now. We do hope maybe one day, I don't know, maybe one day we can have a real-time live feed or something. But I think for now, because of logistic issues and preparation and everything, the current format is much more manageable for us. Yeah.
Yes, it is much easier to do things pre-recorded. Let's just say that.
Pre-recorded. Live stream is interesting though, but there are a lot of preparations and you need to be in person to really do it well.
Yes. And live, anything can happen. And if somebody says something that they shouldn't have said, or we can't cut that out. We can't. We have to just deal with it in the moment. If somebody slipped out the release date of something that we were not supposed to have said, there's consequences for that. We also have IP holders to answer to, and they can't be watching us all the time. But if we happen to do something that was not previously mentioned in the contract with them, then might get a little bit upset about that. So there's a lot of implications that go around all of that. But I do agree that it would be nice to have some live gameplay at some point, so that the community can feel that we also enjoy playing Brave Frontier and that we do actually play it. We don't just have it on our phone and kind of ignore it. That's definitely not the case. So yeah, I think it might be good to maybe just once in a while have a little bit of something that we can share real time with everyone. It would be neat, but it would take a lot of work to set it up and to make it possible is the issue, I think.
Hopefully someday we will have a chance for it.
Yeah, maybe. Fingers crossed. It's also very, very difficult when the people involved are completely on different regions of the world. It complicates things. Distance is not an easy thing to overcome. So there are a few glitches in the matrix there. But yeah, so hopefully maybe someday, but we can't make any promises. I guess it's the short version for that part 2 for King LancePie, right? Okay. All right, we're moving on to question number 2 by Mordicai 0. Mordicai 0 wants to know if we can have more benefits for level 999 players. So our energy refills faster, but it doesn't feel like enough of a perk for all of our summers who have worked so hard to get up to that rank. He's wondering if we would be willing to consider maybe faster arena orb refills or faster raid refills as well. What do you think, Risky?
Well, this question is specifically picked up by the development team. So they are aware of quite a number of our players reach level 999 and still actively playing. So they will definitely want to consider this. Until last month, the development team was still busy working on the DBB. So they will find a time to basically work on it and hopefully improve the quality of life for the level 999 players. So
right. Awesome. Very much looking forward to it because I am also level 999 and I want those benefits, Risky.
Yes. Okay. But when you ask about it, then we'll definitely be considering it.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Mordicai 0. We're moving on to the last question of the day, and it is, a very old friend of ours, Mr. Bookworm 13X is back. But along him, we have BFG Skittles and Thien Tran, and they're all basically asking the same thing, and that is when is Guild Raid going to come back? Because not only is it the only real way to get a viable source of guild tokens, but it is also a really good experience since you can, hook up with your team and hook up with your guild in real time and work together, as a single unit instead of kind of oh yeah, I did, Frontier Rift yesterday. You can't really see what your partners are doing or what your guildmates are doing, as well as you can see in Guild Raid. You feel like it's happening there and you're part of that group effort. So when can we see Guild Raid again?
This is it's always the same questions for almost every BNC. I think since we stopped even the casual rate, I think players have some kind of concern on whether guild raid will become like the challenge arena or something. Like okay,
never
so
to be
maybe
seen again.
yeah, maybe what we can share here is that we had fixed. Okay, so basically guild raid is a big. It's kind of like a big module in the game itself, like a big features, and we do use kind of like a third-party kind of software to help us to manage the real-time communication and everything. We did have some problem with it, like a lot of like synchronization issues, and it happens because. A little like a technical issue we are facing with that third-party software, and we did manage to fix that. However, now I think in general, even after we fix that, there are still some syncing issue or connection issues related to the guild raid because basically mainly it's because of the scale of the gameplay itself. So the team is currently more looking back into not so much on the technical one, but back to the game design itself. Like if there's any way for us to revamp the design of the guild raid to accommodate for the smaller teams. Because what happened now is that I think with the current team size, there are a lot of synchronization issues happening. Like the team size and the battle length itself is kind of like a bit long, and that is causing issues in terms of like synchronizations. So our team is kind of like wants to like review the gameplay of the guild raid itself, like maybe considering it to like cut into try to accommodate the smaller teams and some of the interaction of the outpost itself that cause synchronization issue as well. They want to relook at it. So in short, in summary, I think we still need more time to review this feature. We might not be able to immediately reopen that again because reopening is not as easy as just reopen and then let players play. But if the issue is still happening, of course, the drawback is that we have to handle our angry players. Community mood will become really bad because of that, and we don't want to spoil players' mood. Because what is the purpose of reopening the game mode, even though it's just a casual one, but if it can be unplayable for some people. So we are really worried on that. So our team currently, our manpower is focused more on creating a new content, like Frontier, doing the RC7, the Frontier Rift, and the seasonal dungeons or collaboration dungeon as well. So I think in the meantime we will work on the background on improving this. Yeah. So that's pretty long answer from me, but I hope you guys can be patient a little bit more, and we'll definitely give you an update if. Eventually, we have to decide to close guild raid for good, or we will revive them again. So, yeah. In the meantime, please play Frontier Rift because that's another way of interaction with the guild as well. So you should work with your guild to get to revisit the previous Frontier Rift or for the upcoming new Frontier Rift in the future. Yeah.
Well, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, it's really mouthful. I'm so sorry.
No, it's totally
that's the
fine.
only thing I can say to the players because our development team and game design team is really struggling on this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously it is better to release something that is stable and that the players can actually play instead of releasing something that is only halfway fixed and then have them struggle with that. Because as you said, it's only going to cause more frustration if you think it's finally out and then when you go play it, you cannot even actually get past the loading screen. That's just going to, cause more people to become upset, and we don't want anybody to be upset, obviously. So I think it's better to, focus our resources into finding a way to fix it or going around it so that we can work it out in new ways. That way Guild Raid can come back someday. It's just a problem of when. When is going to be that someday? We gotta have a little bit of patience and believe in the team. Hopefully they can fix this one or rework this one in a way that gets us Guild Raid back, or at least some kind of version of Guild Raid back. We'll just have to, keep our fingers crossed on that one there. But again, in the meantime, you have all this other amazing content to enjoy. You have Tokyo Ghoul Collaboration coming. Amazing. You have all of these wonderful new units for summer. You got alternate art, Vortex Arena. There's lots of stuff to do. Lots of stuff to do. So please make sure that you're enjoying that. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in again to another episode of BNC. Make sure that you leave your comments and questions in the boxes below so that we can pick them up for next time. And we hope that you have an excellent ghoulish summer. See you next time.
All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.